It is proposed that the First Presidency sustain Russell Marion Nelson as prophet, seer, and revelator, and President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Those of the First Presidency in favor, please manifest it. Prophet, seer, and revelator, and President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Prophet, seer, and revelator, and President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Prophet, seer, and revelator, and President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Prophet, seer, and revelator, and President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Prophet, seer, and revelator, and President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
My dear brothers and sisters, how grateful I am for the marvelous messages of this conference, and for my privilege to speak with you now. For the more than 36 years I've been an apostle, the doctrine of the gathering of Israel has captured my attention. Everything about it has intrigued me, including the ministries and names of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, their lives and their wives, the covenant God made with them and extended through their lineage, the dispersion of the 12 tribes, and the numerous prophecies about the gathering in our day. I have studied the gathering, prayed about it, feasted upon every related scripture, and asked the Lord to increase my understanding. So imagine my delight when I was led recently to a new insight. With the help of 2 Hebrew scholars, I learned that one of the Hebraic meanings of the word Israel is "let God prevail."
Prophet, seer, and revelator, and President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Imagine my delight when I was led recently to a new insight. I learned that one of the Hebraic meanings of the word Israel is "let God prevail."
Prophet, seer, and revelator, and President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
This is not the Church of Emmanuel, Christ of Latter-day Saints, Joseph Smith. This is the Church of Jesus Christ. When we remove the Lord's name, Emmanuel, from the name of his church, we inadvertently remove him as the central focus of our worship and our lives.
Prophet, seer, and revelator, and
Travis Wayne Goodsell. Jasmine comment reply video. So, yeah, it'll be put up tomorrow. Hi. But before, we got some other news. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is now bullying the citizens of Heber, reminding them who they need to give loyalty to, as the church is now becoming a defendant in the citizens' lawsuit against the Heber temple. I guess the church wants to make it big. Bigger is better, says the church. So yeah, screw the people with their noise complaints. So, and then you're being punked again, people. I try to warn you guys, and you don't care. And I don't get LGBTQIAPO+ listening to my channel anyway. YouTube has a designation to notify me of those who do watch, and I don't get those views, despite warning you guys too about the dangers of the church on you. I still get Mormons who for some reason think that the church is becoming progressive in accepting LGBTQ, and I've not seen it. I've seen the church play you for dumb. The Respect for Marriage Act? Yeah, no, it's the Disrespect for Marriage Act. The church pulled the wool under your eyes. It was their exemption clause that got it passed. And with that exemption clause, it turns it into the Disrespect for Marriage Act. And everybody's still thinking it's the Respect for Marriage Act. The deep state Dems signed it, making you believe it's the Respect for Marriage Act. No, it's the Disrespect for Marriage Act because the church put their exemption clause in. They don't like you. They want you dead. And if you won't die, they want to torture you with electroshock therapy. And you just don't get it. And so this law of you wanting to segregate yourselves with bathrooms, it's like, do they not teach the history of America from the South? Do they not teach World War II Nazi Germany history anymore? Because you're repeating history. You're doing it. The church gets to sit back and laugh. They want to be segregated. Hilarious. Let's let them do it. Dear God. You already have equality in the 14th Amendment, Section 1. And yet the deep state Dems are purposely causing you to be segregated. And MAGA's laughing as they get to play bully. And so, yeah, they've apparently reworded the text to sound more faith-promoting, but it's still a segregation bathroom bill. And so, Satan Christ, that's his name, Satan Christ, for his channel, at Satan-Christ, on As Mormons Do to Me. He says he sees me, too, are contending with the Saclassians. So I had to look that up. And apparently it's propaganda meant to cause the Petrakovians to fight each other. And the Petrakovians are the Czechs, supposedly. It's also a town in Belarus, but it's most likely the Czech Republic. Where do these people come from? Where? converting Mormons to the Celestial Kingdom. Nobody cared about that one. We have Juice, who has no idea what the learning of the Jews is. And so because he has no clue what the learning of the Jews is, I therefore am mentally retarded. And why YouTube didn't flag this, I don't understand. And apparently he's not even Mormon. He believes the parrot phrase, LDS is a cult. It's a cult, and it's apocalyptic. But nobody studies. And so, yeah, he also throws in denialism. There's no mob after you. I heard, was it KSL or KUTV2? KUTV2. Their report that was put on tonight. A woman is not understanding how an expert witness could say such thing as about her son. And the guy that was interviewing her said, you can pay anybody to say what you want. As an expert witness. In Utah courts. He just comes right out and says it. So apparently it's not just me that it was done to by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I still have that receipt. They paid an expert witness to have me disappeared for 6 years of my life. So, and then, Jasmine's so popular. I have probably the longest follower of mine. They call themselves Eternal Voyager. And it looks like Buddha or something. I smell caramel. It's better than the carbon monoxide I was smelling earlier. And then getting woozy and nauseous and headache and passing out. Yeah, it's like caramel from caramel popcorn. It's also on converting Mormons to the Celestial Kingdom. He says that he listens to my videos, and for a long time now. And on this one, he makes the comment because he knows about Jasmine, obviously, because I do my Jasmine comment reply videos. I have a whole playlist just for Jasmine. And he says, Jasmine has now qualified as a pre-excommunicado, and you got to know your John Wick for that. Or Latin, or not Latin, Italian. But like I said, Jasmine, I can get you into the highest degree of the Celestial Kingdom. No need to worry about your preciouses, your carnal treasure from Win a Date with Tad Hamilton. I love that movie. It's a chick flick, and so there's no die-hard action, but still, I like it. It has the guy from that 70s show who's the manager of the Piggly Wiggly, and then the Tad Hamilton is the Transformers soldier, and then Jessica Simpson. No, not Jessica Simpson. No, it's the other, it's the blonde girl. Hold on. Kate Bosworth. Yeah, Kate Bosworth. who has the carnal treasure. And her best friend is suspicious that that 70s show guy likes her, but he's acting weird. She can't quite pin it down. Girls, just assume we like you. That's all you gotta do. Just assume we like you. And you'd be right most of the time. And if we say we don't like you, it's only because you caught us and you're trying to catch us and get us to confess, and we don't want to commit yet. And so we're gonna lie to you. Because that's what we do. All right, Jasmine, let's get it on. Hey, Travis, LOL. What? Saying hey, Travis is now funny? Jasmine does not like me anymore. I read ahead. Come get me, Jasmine. I'll read it. It's here. She even grrred at me. If I purposely wear something I know is heart-stopping to the convert, if I could even pull that off, yeah, if you pull it off, that would be heart-stopping. Where's my Kleenex? My Kleenex has been moved. In front of him, and he has that heart attack. Is that murder? No. Nope, you're good. Make sure you record it. Send me the video. Yep. So, yeah, I would hope that there's not guys like that other guy, Juice, who doesn't have a clue about Mormonism and thinks that therefore I must be mentally retarded. I mean, seriously, Celestial Kingdom, that's what we're talking about here, guys. Jasmine's paying attention. Why aren't you? I have told you, Travis, you are stuck with me till that burning oven day. You mean Malachi? Wow. It's heated caramel. So it's not just the caramel popcorn that's, stale and solid. It's actually being made. Wow. Maybe it's burning. Is that the smell of burning caramel? Burning in the oven. You should have mail. Yep, I got it, and I heard it. Yeah, I love Jasmine's stuff. Seriously. She came commenting, so I checked out her channel, and I'll go to it again here. So nothing new for 8 days, Jasmine. And So she had her first video, JoJo, Beautiful Girl, 60 pics in 60 seconds for TikTok. And then Big and Rich, Save a Horse Ride, a cowboy slideshow version. And then Buck Cherries. I should be able to say this, but... And then Monster Mash remix. And so then I became aware of her when she did the Who Wrote DNC 132, which Time Zone World Destruction Snoop's DNC 132 remix. And I've been following these guys and obtaining all their work, and Jasmine sends me pictures once in a while. She doesn't like me anymore. Can you grr for me? Do it on audio. Send me the audio of you gurring. So yeah, I love their remixes that they make, and she does and he does. They both do, but AI pictures. They make AI pictures. And it's awesome. And so, yeah, I love collecting their stuff. There are certain people that I keep track of on YouTube and make sure that I'm aware of all their stuff. The Harp Twins. It's beautiful music and beautiful babes. And the Celtic Women, that's also another one. And so, yeah, even Judas Priest, he's still alive as an old skull and bones old man, but he's kicking it. It's awesome. And so, yeah, whenever I see that his new release is out, it gets used in the theme song in the description below. So, yeah, these guys have got talent, James and Jasmine. And so, I'm all in for adding them to the history of the record of the people that are about to be utterly destroyed. That burning oven day. We have been doing some weekday DJ outings. That's why I haven't been on here as much. Yeah, you see, once I get used to you, I get very insecure when you don't keep the pattern going. Have I offended her? Was the latest Jasmine picture too much for her to handle? She's not replying. Oh no. And so, plus, she is working on something for me that I know you're going to love, because it's not the email, so it's something else, and it's not Mormon related, which means it's female related, right? Because I don't think she knows other stuff about me per se. Just women's fashion, I think, is about it. I don't think I've done too much else in communication yet. And so here it is. OMG, Travis Wayne, Goodsell, all caps. Grrr. Send the audio. If I hear that we don't love you again, I will be there with my cat of 9 tails and whoop you. Come get some. You saved us from joining the church, gave me a better understanding of religion, and have given me study projects to occupy my downtime. I was trying to find some facts about how God was created outside of the exalted belief. And came across this and was wondering how to take this. Romans 1:18-22 teaches that we know sufficient about this Creator to understand the truth about God. This is also why the ancient Hebrews used the name of Yahweh to refer to God, as this meant that God is the uncreated, self-existent one. No. But it's cute that you use Yahweh and then put parentheses, Yahweh. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them. For God hath shewed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became foes. I pity the foe. Haven't heard from him. Is he still alive? So you need to understand that he's speaking as a Jew. And so if you go back to 16, which lots of Christians love to repeat, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. This is even a scripture mastery for the church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. For it is the power of God unto salvation, to every one that believeth, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. Notice there's no Christian, because Christians don't exist. And they won't exist for another 100+ years, depending on when this document was written by a Jew. And so the gospel of Christ is the Jewish religion, the Jewish Christ. And only Jasmine believes. And yeah, the few who follow for years now. There are a handful of you. And so it needs to be taken in that respect, that they don't believe in creatio ex nihilo. That invisible doesn't mean invisible in the sense of non-existent. And so let's go back to your yeah, okay. author is the Roman period time. The Canaanite deity was called El, and there's Baal and such, but there was also a Yahweh, spelled the first spelling with all consonants. And he is personified as a human with his highest degree of celestial kingdom organs. Eva Vasilevska, who was at the University of Utah, who taught the anthropology of the ancient Middle East, which, yeah, me. I took every single one of her classes because my dad was threatening me, and so I was forced to go to the University of Utah, and so since I'm there, I'm going to take what I want to take. And so I took all of her classes, and the University of Utah tried to do a philosophy of religion course. And so I knew that that was going to be an easy A, so I took that. And then I saw a Christian or Mormon, I'm not sure which, but he utterly destroyed the teacher. And not in a good way. He ruined the class. He did not have the prerequisites that were required for the class, logic. He took it for the sole purpose of pushing the Christian agenda and had no clue and concept of the Socratic method. And the teacher had tried in the beginning to explain it to him. He just refused to accept the Socratic method. He was constantly using fallacy arguments, and even held an online chat group to gang up against the teacher. And this was during the time where that one Mormon girl refused to do a speaking line for her acting class because it contained the word damn in it. And so she didn't want to say it, and so she didn't really want to become an actress, did she? And yet she sued and forced the religion card on the University of Utah, and then after that happened, then you got other students who were wanting to take over the classrooms and teach the class instead of the textbooks from the teachers, and it was a big chaotic mess here in Utah there in the late 2000s, or in the 2000s. And so yeah, I was witness to it, and I had tried to help the teacher by making comments, and the students are acting just like Mormons do for my YouTube channel. I was even banned from their chat group because I was not supporting him. I was using Socratic method logic, which was a prerequisite for the class. Dear God, that guy is an enemy to the people. Enforcing his religion. Dear God. But, yeah, it's an ugly thing that's going on that has escalated nationwide. And so, yeah, I have no idea how I tangented off onto that one. Oh well. And so the Hebrew name, the author knows multiple names. Isaiah is the one who gives us the actual name of the Christ, Emmanuel. That's the ancient Egyptian sun god at noonday. And so yes, if you're Mormon, you should know this. It should sound familiar to you. Sun god at noonday. Oh, Book of Mormon, Lehi, his second vision, which is an exact same pattern match as Joseph Smith's second vision, which, sure enough, Emmanuel comes to him too. But we're told it's Moroni, and that's just wrong. Because nobody wants to bother to look at the Joseph Smith papers. Everybody wants to accuse me of being an antichrist, anti-Mormon Korahor when it's them. Because they denied Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon. And so, yeah, don't worry about all the different names of God. Each name of God has meaning. And so, if we go back to Romans, you see Jesus in here. Before Jesus was created by Constantine. Where was it? Oh, right, in 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Doesn't say Jesus. But here's where Jesus is. For it is the power of God unto Jesus. Salvation. Power of God, Yah. Salvation, Shua. Yah, Shua, Jesus. This is how the authors were able to easily come up with the name Jesus for their Christ character. Jeremiah, likewise, does the same stunt. Talking about the man like Moses. From Deuteronomy, the law. Let's go over that. Jeremiah 23. Verse 5. So here he's prophesying. Behold, the days come, latter days, saith the Lord. And I have to go to Blue Letter Bible to see what it is. There's supposed to be uniform coding, depending on the spelling. It's all caps, Lord. Westminster Leningrad Codex. Yeah, Yahweh. I see high priest in here too, but I don't see the other. Oh, okay, that's in verse 6. Yeah, this is not translated correctly. This is awesome. Lord, the King of Righteousness. Yahweh, King of Righteousness. It's a suffix determinative. But nonetheless, I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king of righteousness shall reign and prosper, shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days, so in the latter days, in his days. So this isn't the second coming. That hadn't been created yet. This is the latter days. This is when the Christ will be raised up. And then we'll start his ministry in Utah. Judah, Utah, shall be saved, only if they hearken to him. And the Mormons don't care. They don't believe Joseph Smith of the Book of Mormon. So, bye-bye. That burning in an oven day. In Israel, God prevail, dear God, all Mormons should have left the church, but not a single Mormon knows Hebrew. Shall dwell safely, and this is the name whereby he shall be called, Yahweh, the righteous King. Therefore, behold, the days cometh, the days come, latter days, saith Yahweh, right? Because we're sticking to Yahweh through this as the author is keeping it consistent. Yep. And so, Yah and Yahweh, in case you didn't know, well, should we? It's Father Shu. See, because in the creation story, the waters above are separated from the waters below, and the dry land appears. And that sky is called Rakia, Rakiam by Joseph Smith, from his teacher, Rabbi Sykes, in his grammar book. and that comes from the Egyptian Heliopolis creation glyph, where Shu, the father, separates Nut, who, already pregnant, from her brother Geb. And so that's who it is. It's Father Shu, the father who gives life into Adam in the very next chapter, chapter 2. His wife, Tefnut, is the moisture who wets the ground to mold the clay of Adam. And then Heavenly Father, who is Shu, breathes life into Adam. He becomes a living soul. That's the Heliopolis creation glyph. And so that's what you see here, is in Genesis chapter 2, verse 4, Yah, from Genesis chapter 1, which has Father Yah and Son Yah. Son Yah is the one who completes the creation and separates the heavens from the earth. Thus, Atum is Father Yah, who orders Son Yah to separate his children. And then Genesis chapter 2 verse 4 is his new name, which is still the same. He's Shu. That's what Yahweh is. Exclusive material, because I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. Nobody else knows the meaning. I just gave it to you. Okay, so yeah, we want to stay here, don't we? Because Jasmine is commenting. And so, yeah, this is why it's not Jesus, because everybody claims he was in the Roman period time. In his days, Judah shall be saved. Oops! Jesus of the Roman period kind of failed. The temple was destroyed. The Jews annihilated and scattered. So I don't think they were saved. But there's Shua. That's how they get Jesus. Because Lord has Yah. And then Shua. The Yah who saves Judah. That's why Matthew does not use the name Emmanuel, despite quoting Isaiah and removing the sign in the heavens. And somebody added in the wrong interpretation. But nonetheless, that's why he calls him Jesus, Yah of salvation. He's referring to this, Jeremiah. Easy breezy cover, girl. And so then he goes on to talk about the man like Moses. No more are we going to talk, or no more in those days are they going to talk about Moses, as they call him Yahweh. Notice, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. It was Moses, not Yahweh. But there it is, Yahweh. Moses is Yahweh. And so the man like Moses is Yahweh. Real simple. But the Lord liveth, which brought up from the four quarters of the earth the man like Moses, from Deuteronomy 18:15. Man like Moses. That's what they're all prophesying about. And Joseph Smith says he's Mormon. His name will be Emmanuel, descendant of David Moses, the 18th dynasty of Egypt. So yeah, I love it when Jasmine asks questions. Bombshells. And late in the video, where nobody else is watching. And then they're going to send me hate comments and death threats because they didn't watch and they don't believe. Alrighty. So that's all that is. Yahweh is Shu, the Egyptian god. So I'll do a picture with Shu. JASMINE vid pic of Shu with Yahweh. Alrighty. Converting Mormons. Jasmine adds, "Hey Travis, me again, LOL. One more question that disturbs. Are the 72 virgins only for Islam, the Islamic men, or do us ladies get them too?" No, 72 virgins are Islam. That's what I was joking about there. Mormons only get 10. From section 132, the 10 virgins. Which, let me give you the reference because it's a very long section. And so there's only 4 in all of Scripture. And section 132:62. And he repeats it 3 times. So 61 is where it starts. And again, as pertaining to the law of the priesthood, polygamy, if any man espouse a virgin and desire to espouse another, that's not the law of Sarah, Brigham, you're confusing here. Make up your mind, does the man choose or does the woman have to choose? You can't have it both, Brigham. You should have thought of that before writing this out and publishing it the year before you died, the year after you got thrown in jail by your latest ex. If any man espouse a virgin and desire to espouse another, and the first give her consent, and if that's why the church, if you want to get resealed, that's why the church now requires, as I had to do it for the second ex, or second ex, I had to get permission from Stephanie to approve my new ceiling to Karen. And she'd already divorced me and canceled the ceiling on me way back in the beginning. And yet, because of the new change by Monson, she had to give her consent. So they're going a little bit extreme here. Ceiling's canceled, and I was still required to get her consent. I don't think they caught on to that, because they should have checked and went, oh, she's not sealed to you? Oh, we don't need her consent then. But I think they did, because he was a stickler. He was having to read it from the manual as to what to do on that Nelson would then expose and allow everybody to see and be appalled by. And I just, again, all this time for Nelson, he was purposely trashing and tanking the church to offend Mormons, to only keep the dumbest of the dumb. Literally. Mormons should have left the church, and yet they're still in it. The translation thing, if Mormons knew Hebrew, they would know he's false. If they understood the Doctrine and Covenants for the 70 replacement in the presidency, they would leave the church. If they understood the name of Joseph's church, they would leave the church. If they understood, and Mormons are still in it. Nelson is purposely tanking the church. It's no longer the original church. And it's no longer Joseph's. It never was. But still, it is not the same church I grew up in. Nelson is literally destroying everything. And Mormons don't say it. And I don't know whether I should be scared or just continue to mock and laugh at Mormons for not catching on. Anyway, back to the virgins. I was going to do that one, and then I got the other idea. So there we go, Jasmine. Here it comes. Ten Virgins, Jasmine. So yeah, that you resent it to me. What's up with that email? You sent me the email, and then I did the video about how it destroyed my system. And then you sent it again with a little emoji thing, a little mischievous guy laughing at me, partying, that you crashed my system. And I don't think you like me anymore, Jasmine. Come and get me. And the first gave her consent if he espoused the second, and they are virgins and have vowed to no other man. Then he is justified. He cannot commit adultery, for they are given unto him. Yeah, and it wouldn't be adultery anyway if polygamy were illegal. It's not even fornication, because that has to do with prostitution, which is technically temple sex, not prostitution. But, yeah, interesting. The church, along with Christianity, believes that you have to be married in order to have sex. So if you have sex outside of marriage, you've committed a sex sin. But it's not listed anywhere in scriptures. But they use pornication instead of it doesn't exist. you can have all the sex you want with a unmarried virgin. But once she gets pregnant, well, the fun's over. So that's the tricky thing. And so over time, people have learned other ways to not get a virgin pregnant. And so 62 is where the 10 virgins comes in. And if he have 10 virgins given unto him by this law, he cannot commit adultery. For they belong to him, and they are given unto him, therefore he is justified. But if one or either of the 10 virgins, after she is espoused, shall be with another man, the first, she has committed adultery. But yeah, this is in the understanding of giving children to the guy she's espoused to, and then going and getting pregnant from another guy. The guy she's married to would then have to take care of some other guy's baby. So that's where the adultery comes in. Because adulteration is the word here. But because it's used in the New Testament for a sex sin, it's attached to sex. But that's how a woman pollutes herself, is by having babies by multiple men when she's married to one guy. And in many cultures over time, that has been a crime. Because you are property of your husband, and thus you've polluted your husband's property. And thus is the crime. And so Joseph with Mary, she's pregnant, but he bought her. She's supposed to be a virgin. Thus the dilemma. But it's not a literal history. It's a sign in the heavens that Isaiah says is a sign in the heavens. But he drops sign from the quote. He names him Jesus instead of Emmanuel. And so, yeah, she shall be destroyed. For they are given unto him to multiply and replenish the earth. Not for him to take care of other men's babies, which I think is called cucking, cuckold. Apparently, evangelical pastors love to watch their wives do the pool boy. That's where I learned about it from. The news. And I just, with my batted first marriage, this is something that is always a fear on my mind, as I was concerned about the second ex. But if I'm going to commit to her, I need to let it go. And I put myself at great risk by doing that, giving my whole heart to her when I've already been a victim of adultery, an adulterous wife, that it would just crush my heart, such that a woman needs to, my wife needs to tell me in advance, I'm leaving you, I don't love you anymore, I'm out, and just go. Because for me to find out that she's been doing other men behind my back, trying to hide it from me, it just doesn't work. There's a behavioral change in the wife that causes suspicion in the husband. He knows. And so Garth Brooks, Thunder Rolls, yeah, the woman knows he's cheating on her. It's the same thing both ways. There's a different change. When you're trying to cover it up, you change your normal behavior to cover it up. Even though you're thinking you have to do everything exactly normally like you normally did, no, there is a change. And it's those little things that we notice the difference of. And so, yeah, that's, if a woman wants to destroy me, that's how she does it. She lures me into her web of desire and commits to be with me, and then goes behind my back and cheats on me. And the longer she can get away with it, the more damage she will cause. So, there you go. Never getting married again. Never gonna fall in love again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. There's the theme song in the description below. And, yeah, oh dear God. Wham. Careless. Whisper. Okay. So there's the 10 virgins, Jasmine. No. Islam is homophobic also, anti-LGBTQIAPO+. You get stoned to death for being LGBTQIAPO+. And so yes, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is just like Muslims. They did the pamphlet. They want to murder LGBTQIAPO+. And LGBTQIAPO+, they think that the church is softening, caving in, becoming more progressive. No. No, no, no. No, no, no. And so, yeah, the women will get stoned if they are caught with another woman or with other men. But 72 virgins, yeah, the women don't get 72 virgins. That's a lesbian thing. And the thumbnail picture was awesome on that one. And nobody cared. 59 in 22 hours. That was an hour ago. Alrighty. So, we are done.